Here is the complete voiceover script. If your spouse has passed away and you're thinking about getting remarried, there is one date on the calendar that will either cost you or save you a significant amount of Social Security income for the rest of your life. That date is your 60th birthday. Most widows and widowers have never heard of this rule. Most financial advisors won't bring it up unless you ask. And every year, real people make the decision to remarry just a few months before they turn 60 and walk away from thousands of dollars in survivor benefits they didn't know were waiting for them. This video is about that rule, how it works, what it costs, and what you need to know before you make any major life decision. I want to be direct with you from the start. Survivor benefits from Social Security are one of the most substantial financial assets many widows and widowers hold. We're talking about a monthly check that, in many cases, is larger than anything a surviving spouse would earn on their own work record alone. And under a specific Social Security rule, one that has been in writing for decades, remarrying before age 60 can permanently end your access to that check. Remarrying at 60 or older keeps it fully intact. That is the rule. Let's walk through exactly how it works. According to the Social Security Administration's Survivors Benefits page at ssa.gov, an SSA publication, Yen 05-10084, survivor benefits are paid to widows, widowers, and dependents of eligible workers. The deceased worker must have paid into Social Security and earned enough work credits to qualify. In most cases, anyone who worked a meaningful portion of their adult life will have met that threshold. The benefit exists specifically to protect surviving spouses from financial hardship after a partner's death. Here is what SSA's own guidance tells us about remarriage. If you are a widow or widower and you remarry before age 60, you are generally no longer eligible to collect survivor benefits based on your late spouse's work record. The benefit is forfeited. However, and this is the part most people miss, if you remarry at age 60 or later, the remarriage does not affect your eligibility for survivor benefits. You keep them. The rule is that clear-cut. There is also a provision tied to disability. If you are a disabled widow or widower, the relevant age threshold drops to 50. A disabled surviving spouse who remarries before age 50 would lose eligibility. At 50 or later, they would not. But the threshold most people in this audience need to focus on is age 60. One more piece worth knowing. If you remarried before 60 and that marriage later ends through divorce or death, you may be able to reclaim survivor benefits from your first spouse's record. The door doesn't close forever if circumstances change. But while that subsequent marriage is active and ongoing, the survivor benefit from your first spouse is off the table. Now let's talk about why so many people get this wrong, because the misunderstanding here is understandable. The common assumption is that Social Security decisions affect only your own retirement benefit, your claiming age, your full retirement age, whether to take benefits early or late. That framing is correct for your own retirement record. But survivor benefits are a separate track entirely. They exist on your deceased spouse's earnings record, not yours. The eligibility rules, the reduction schedules, the remarriage rule, all of it operates independently from the retirement benefit calculations people are more familiar with. The remarriage rule was written into the law with a specific rationale. Survivor benefits are designed to protect you as a surviving spouse. Remarriage was understood, under the original statutory logic, to change that status. What the rules don't make obvious, and what most people don't discover until it's too late, is that Congress drew a specific line at age 60, recognizing that older widows and widowers face different financial realities and vulnerabilities than younger surviving spouses. Below 60, the rule applies. At 60 and above, it doesn't. There is no gray area in between. The confusion is compounded by the fact that this rule almost never comes up in standard Social Security planning conversations. A financial planner walking you through claiming strategies will usually focus on your own retirement benefit, the 8% growth per year between 62 and 70, the break-even math. Survivor benefits and the remarriage rule are a separate chapter. and for many widows and widowers, a far more consequential one. Here is a clear framework for thinking about your own situation. If you are a widow or widower who has not yet reached age 60 and you are considering remarriage, the first and most important step is to find out the dollar difference between your own projected retirement benefit and the survivor benefit available to you on your late spouse's record. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov or create one if you haven't, and look at both numbers side by side. Then ask yourself honestly, is there any practical reason the legal ceremony needs to happen before your 60th birthday rather than after it? If you are already past age 60, you can remarry freely. Your eligibility for survivor benefits is not affected, and you lose nothing. If you remarried before 60 and that marriage is ongoing, survivor benefits from your first spouse are not available to you right now. If your circumstances change in the future, contact the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213 to understand your options at that time. Now let me make this concrete with a realistic example. Imagine Barbara. She is 58. Her husband passed away 2 years ago after a long career. Based on his earnings record, his Social Security survivor benefit at Barbara's full retirement age works out to roughly $2,200 per month. A hypothetical figure, but well within the range of what the SSA reports for median earners. Barbara has a new partner she loves deeply, and they've talked seriously about getting married. She's thinking about a ceremony next spring. She would be 59 years old at the time. If Barbara marries at 59, she forfeits that survivor benefit for as long as that marriage is intact. Over a 20-year retirement, at $2,200 a month, that is more than $500,000 in lifetime benefits she would not receive. Even if she had claimed that survivor benefit early, at age 60, with the reduction SSA applies for early claiming, the lifetime total is still enormous. If Barbara instead waits, if the ceremony is scheduled after her 60th birthday, she preserves every dollar of that survivor benefit, and her marriage goes forward without compromise. This is not a marginal financial footnote. It is worth a direct conversation with a Social Security specialist before any date is set. Here are 3 concrete steps to take right now. First, go to ssa.gov and log into or create a My Social Security account. Pull up your own projected retirement benefit, and if you have a deceased spouse who paid into Social Security, ask the SSA to show you the survivor benefit amount on their record. You need both numbers to make an informed decision. Second, if you are approaching any significant life change, a new marriage, a change in household status, call the Social Security Administration directly at 1-800-772-1213 before anything is legally finalized. Representatives are available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. Tell them your situation. Ask specifically about survivor benefit eligibility and how any upcoming change would affect it. That call costs nothing. The mistake can cost you everything. Third, read SSA publication Yen 05-10084, the SSA's official Survivors Benefits Guide, available as a free download on ssa.gov. The remarriage rule and the full survivor benefit schedule are spelled out there in plain language. It is the authoritative source, and it is worth an hour of your time. This is educational content, not financial or legal advice. For decisions tied to your specific situation, verify the current rules directly on ssa.gov or speak with a licensed advisor who works in Social Security planning. Here is the single most important thing to carry out of this video. The age 60 remarriage rule is real. It is in writing at the Social Security Administration, and it matters. A ceremony scheduled on the wrong side of your 60th birthday can forfeit a benefit your late spouse spent a lifetime building for you. If you know someone navigating this, a friend, a sibling, a parent who was recently widowed, share this video with them. The rule is obscure. The cost is not. If you've had to think through survivor benefits, or if you know someone who faced this decision, I'd like to hear about it in the comments. What did you wish you had known sooner? And if this kind of specific, sourced retirement information is useful to you, subscribe. We cover Social Security, Medicare, and retirement taxes the same way every week. No hype, just the rules, plainly explained.